Welcome to Tokyo Tokimeki channel. Today, we're diving into the Heian Period, where the world's most luxurious lifestyle was born. The Heian Period was when samurai first appeared and the world's first romance novel, The Tale of Genji, was written. Now, hop in our time machine, and let's embark on a Tokimeki journey to the Heian Period.
Welcome. I'm Fujiwara no Michinaga, your guide today. You simply can't talk about the Heian Period without mentioning me.
Of course, Michinaga-san. Today, we'll uncover the secrets of the Heian Period together. First, let's look at how the Heian Period began. The era began with Emperor Kanmu's decision to establish the new capital, Heiankyo.
But why was it necessary to relocate the capital?
Because the previous capital was plagued by epidemics and constant conflicts among nobles. Additionally, the new location was chosen based on the principles of feng shui.
Feng shui is fascinating. Building a capital back then sounds like a spiritual consultation. As a result, Heiankyo was designed in a grid pattern, creating order and harmony.
If you were to build a capital, where would you choose? Let us know in the comments.
Our lives as nobles were the epitome of luxury. Wearing Junahito robes, composing poetry in fragrant gardens, it was like a dream.
Meanwhile, commoners lived in cramped row houses, struggling daily to make a living. The gap between ideal and reality existed even within Heiankyo. Heiankyo wasn't just a capital. It was the place that opened a new chapter in Japanese history. Next, let's explore how this city thrived and the incredible culture that blossomed within it. Now, let me introduce you to the peak of the Heian Period, led by none other than Fujiwara no Michinaga. Michinaga-san, how did you manage to gain such tremendous power back then?
That's simple, Doctor. My family was the key. I married my daughters into the imperial family, controlling the government as a family affair. This is what we call the second system, a hallmark of the Heian Period. When the emperor was a child, the Fujiwara acted as regents, seisho. When the emperor came of age, they served as chancellors, kampuku, retaining real power. Have you heard my famous poem? I consider this world to be my own, for there is nothing lacking, like the full moon.
Do you know what this poem means? Michinaga uses the full moon as a symbol of perfection. Just as a full moon has no missing parts, he was expressing that there was nothing lacking in his life. In reality, Michinaga likely believed his family and political power were in perfect harmony.
Exactly. At that time, I had everything I could ever want. However, maintaining perfection was not an easy task.
Now, it wasn't just Michinaga-san, the nobles of the time also lived incredibly luxurious lives. Women in 12-layered robes competed in fragrance contests, and poetry parties were held at night. What would you like to receive as a gift from the Heian Period? Perfume, a beautiful poem, or elegant clothing? Let us know in the comments. By the way, Michinaga-san, weren't there also some failures in your life?
Indeed. For example, the repeated luxurious events led to financial difficulties. However, I managed to overcome them with all my might. That's the duty of a ruler.
While Michinaga created the peak of the Heian Period, he also paved the way for its decline. Even so, his influence still lives on in Japanese culture. Next, we'll dive into the incredible world of literature and art that this era produced. Now, when it comes to the Heian Period, we can't forget the world's oldest romance novel, The Tale of Genji. This masterpiece was created by a court lady named Murasaki Shikibu.
Hello, everyone. I'm Murasaki Shikibu. The Tale of Genji revolves around a beautiful nobleman named Hikaru Genji.
Murasaki-san, what inspired you to write this story?
It was because life at court was incredibly lonely. I poured my thoughts and dreams into this story.
Murasaki-san's loneliness and dreams gave birth to this grand tale. Through the character of Hikaru Genji, she depicted the complexity of human relationships and the fleeting nature of love. The culture of the Heian period wasn't just about literature. It was also a golden age for art and architecture.
Waka poetry was an essential form of communication among us nobles. For instance, we used waka to express romantic feelings.
If you were to send a waka instead of a text online today, what would it be? Let us know in the comments. The culture of the Heian period wasn't just beautiful. It was a reflection of the joy, sorrow, and dreams within people's hearts. The legacy of this era still speaks to us today. Next, we'll delve into the hidden side of the Heian period stories of samurai emergence in turbulent times. As we move to the middle of the Heian period, a new figure emerges on the stage of history: the samurai. Did you know that samurai, now symbols of Japan, were actually born in this era?
But why did they need samurai in the first place?
Because outside of Heiankyo, the provinces were unstable. The nobles delegated security and tax collection to these warriors in the provinces. In other words, samurai first appeared as professional protectors of the provinces. Early samurai were loyal enforcers carrying out tasks assigned by the nobles. But they gradually built their own sense of pride and values.
So they started as the nobles' handymen, then?
Well, maybe at first. But those handymen would eventually change the course of history. By the way, have you heard of a man named Tara no Masakato? He was the leader of the first major samurai rebellion during the Heian period. Masakato claimed he should be the new emperor and challenged the central court. This rebellion symbolized the evolution of samurai from mere protectors to power seekers. If you were a samurai in the Heian period, what kind of mission would you want to undertake? Let us know in the comments. The evolution of samurai didn't stop there. Next came a historic figure, Tara no Kayamori. He was the first samurai to seize real power in the imperial court.
Tara no Kayamori even intimidated us nobles.
Yes, with Tara no Kayamori's rise, samurai were becoming central players in the Heian period. Thus, by the late Heian period, samurai were preparing to usher in a new era. Next, we'll explore the power struggles of samurai that connect the Heian period to the Kamakura period. Now, we approach the final chapter of the Heian period. While the nobles enjoyed their lavish culture, major changes were happening beneath the surface. This shift was marked by the decline of noble power and the emergence of samurai as key players.
Even we, the Fujiwara clan, couldn't resist the tides of change. The provincial samurai gained power and gradually became a threat to our authority.
During this time, two major samurai factions rose to prominence: the Tara and the Minamoto clans. The Tara clan amassed wealth through maritime trade, while the Minamoto clan built immense military strength by uniting regional warriors. These two factions would eventually ignite a major conflict that shook the Heian period. The first sparks of this conflict were the Hagen and Heiji rebellions. The Hagen rebellion was a battle where samurai intervened in a royal succession dispute. In the Heiji rebellion, the Tara and Minamoto clans directly clashed, with Tara no Kayamori emerging victorious. Tara no Kayamori was the first samurai to seize real power within the imperial court. He used his power to engage in large-scale trade, leading the Tara clan to great prosperity. His era felt like the Heian period was crafted just for the Tara clan. However, as Tara no Kayamori's rule continued, the Minamoto clan began to stir once more. This marked the prelude to the end of the Heian period. If you were part of the Tara or Minamoto clans, which side would you choose? Let us know in the comments. Thus, the Heian period reached a turning point, transitioning from nobles to samurai as the central figures. Next time, we'll dive into the Genpei War and the rise of the Kamakura shogunate.